This later got exposed, by the way, was Michelle Obama's chief of staff. And this is true, by the way. You will never hear this on CNN or on MSNBC, but it's 100% true, and you can find evidence of this online on credible sources. This is not a lie. It's not a conspiracy. It's 100% true. Welcome back, guys. My name is chriscameraguy. I would like to thank you for watching this video. It truly means the world to me. I know you could be doing a ton of other things, but the fact that you're here with me right now means the world. Today, we will be discussing the life of one of America's most seedy and malevolent entertainers. He is a musical artist, record producer, and actor. He's been an avid donor and supporter of breast cancer research, the American Foundation for AIDS, and the Children's Hope Foundation, among others. He is even a co-founder of a charter school for children in the Bronx. So, is he a good man? Or are there secrets left untold? Some say that he's a predator, a sexual deviant, a closeted homosexual, and a murderer. Today, we will discuss the convoluted life of P Diddy. Sean Combs was born in the Harlem neighborhood of New York City on November 4th, 1969, raised in Mount Vernon, New York. His mother, Janice Combs, was a model and a teacher's assistant, and his father, Melvin Earl Combs, served in the U.S. Air Force and was later an associate of convicted New York drug dealer Frank Lucas. And just a side note here, Frank Lucas was the inspiration for the film American Gangster. And at age 33, P. Diddy's father, Melvin, was shot dead while sitting in his car on Central Park West when Sean Combs, or better known as P. Diddy, was just 2 years old. Combs went on to graduate from Mount St. Michael Academy in 1987. He played football for this school, and his team won a division title in 1986. Combs said he was given the nickname Puff as a child because he would huff and puff when he was angry. And just another side note here, Mount St. Michael Academy is a private school, and his annual tuition is $9,700 per year. So for all the people that claim that certain gangster rappers weren't given ample opportunities of having conventional, successful lives is a complete lie. Clearly, Diddy's mother cared enough to pay over $9,000 per year for his education. And interestingly enough, another gangster rapper, Tupac, also attended an art school growing up, and one of Tupac's primary talents was something very unexpected. Tupac was a ballet dancer, and not just a dancer, but an avid one at that. And it is documented thoroughly that Tupac intensely studied ballet for 3 years. He also studied acting, poetry, and jazz, and Tupac once landed the role of the Mouse King in the school play The Nutcracker. There were also other gangster rappers who seemingly had opposite lives to what they portrayed in their violent and hopeless lyrics. Take Biggie Smalls, for example. Mr. Biggie. He also attended a very expensive private school for all of his educational years. And just to give you an idea of what type of school Biggie Smalls attended, Mayor Rudy Giuliani, I'll repeat, Mayor Rudy Giuliani also attended the same school that Biggie Smalls attended. That's how rich he was. That's how rich these guys were growing up. They were a bunch of silver spoon-fed rich little kids, rich little soft kids pretending to want to be gangsters It's just silly stuff. And there's really a long list of scary rappers who went to expensive private schools thanks to their caring parents, such as Master P, Lil Mabu, Drake, among many others. But I digress. Back to P. Diddy. Mr. Diddy was a business major at Howard University and became an intern at New York's Uptown Records in the year 1990. He dropped out of college when he was promoted to vice president of A&R at Uptown Records. And that was really when the beginning of P. Diddy's musical career, because P. Diddy went on to win 3 Grammys from 13 nominations. He also won 2 MTV Music Video Awards and a Guinness World Record for most successful rap producer in 1997. I mean, P. Diddy has done it all, apparently. I mean, he's been a rapper, a producer, an actor, a writer, a record label owner, a father, a husband, and officially became a bona fide rich guy, a billionaire, officially in 2022. So why on earth would he ruin it all for sex, violence, and power? And as some of you might know, P. Diddy's house in Florida and in Los Angeles was recently raided by Homeland Security, and at this point, P. Diddy is screwed. He's finished. And I'll tell you why in a minute. In just a moment, I'm going to go through an itemized list of all of the crimes that P. Diddy has been accused of since the early 90s to now. And when I read through the list of Diddy's alleged crimes, I was truly appalled, disgusted, and confused as to why this man is not in prison, why this man wasn't arrested 20, 30 years ago. It's very confusing, but we will get to the bottom of that as well in just a moment here. I just wonder what it must feel like to be on top of the world like P. Diddy was. I mean, he was worth millions and billions of dollars, and now it's poof, it's all over. It's all over. P. Diddy must feel at this point like the world is crashing down on him. Because the fact of the matter is, P. Diddy is going to go to jail for the rest of his life. Or he has the option of fleeing to a non-extradition country for the rest of his life. Because he's not going to be able to get out of this one. And I've wondered for many years how guys like P. Diddy or even like Snoop Dogg have gotten away with horrendous crimes for so many years without any sort of consequence. And some people say they're informants. Others think that these rappers are so rich that they can buy freedom. And some others think there's something more nefarious at play, and perhaps they have political connections that are helping them get out of these legal messes. And as I was researching for this video, I just found out that Diddy fled the country. He took his private jet and he flew to Antigua, which is located in the Caribbean. So he's gone. He's gone. And by the way, he can technically fly over to a non-extradition country anytime that he wants. And some of the countries that he can flee to and American officials wouldn't be able to go grab him and arrest him would be China, Iran, North Korea, and of course, Russia. I'm not sure if you guys remember the gentleman, Edward Snowden. He's the whistleblower who told Americans that Facebook and Instagram is spying on you and reading your DMs and tracking your searches and locations. So Edward Snowden was working with the NSA and was sworn to not reveal any of the secret operations that the government, the American government, was conducting at the time, or I'm sure they're still conducting. And he decided to do the right thing, this Mr. Edward Snowden. And boy, did he pay for it, because he came out in an interview, a public interview with a journalist, and did a tell-all and told on Mr. Mark Zuckerberg and on the whole Facebook and Instagram organization that they've been spying on the American public for years. They have a database on everybody. They have a database on me. They have a database on you. It's really scary stuff. The American government then went to accuse Mr. Snowden of treason. His passport got revoked, and then he had to flee to Russia. It's really, really wild, crazy stuff. It sounds like some espionage film, but it's absolutely real life. And, Mr. Snowden is definitely a hero, unlike Mr. P. Diddy. So let's get into the details of Diddy's house getting raided. So the feds raided both his Florida and his Los Angeles home. And this is not just by the feds. I want to clarify all this. I want to get into the details of it, because anytime a federal agency raids someone, you need to understand who the agency is and what they're probably looking for. If it's the FBI, it could really be anything. But specifically, the agencies that raided P. Diddy's homes were the FBI in conjunction with HSI, which is the government agency that enforces human trafficking. So Diddy's life is finito. It is over. And we're going to go through the accusations that led up to this, and also the current state of affairs and all of that, and probably a lot more. When someone gets their home raided, what that means is that they're looking for evidence, because I'll tell you almost unequivocally for sure what they are looking for specifically. And that's what we will expose in this video. One thing that is incredibly important to know is that if the feds publicly raid your home, that means they got you. And I'll tell you how I know that, because the federal conviction rate is super high. And once you're going against a federal case, you're not winning. Good luck with that. When the feds are the ones putting the case together, you're going down. Really simple as that. And they would never publicly raid a celebrity's home like this in such a large scale in a public way unless they have definitive and concrete evidence. And I'm sure they do. And I know exactly what they're looking for. It gets really dark. And I'll tell you here in just a quick sec, but here's some footage of P. Diddy's house getting raided. And as you see there, that's his kids that they're arresting. Diddy's children, their lives are about to change forever. Specifically because there's a story that P. Diddy and his son, Justin Combs, were both involved in a shooting back in 2022. This is about 18 months ago. And there's so much evidence that the feds have on Diddy that they actually might get him on a RICO case. And, this actually might be a RICO case, because if they're just throwing in, predicates, the way a RICO case works, which stands for Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations, and how it works is, instead of trying you for each individual crime, if you're deemed to be a criminal organization like the mafia, that's how they took down the mob across the country many years ago. They will get you on a RICO case, and they just go, hey, you're a criminal organization, so we're charging you with RICO. And they go like, we can prove that there was narcotics trafficking, human trafficking, murder, and so they don't have to prove each single one as they would if they were trying Diddy in court as an individual versus a criminal organization. So it all becomes part of one umbrella, and it makes the burden of proof much lower in prosecutions. So you probably want to know what the feds are looking for in Diddy's home. They're looking for the tapes, because a lot of the accusations against Diddy come from people saying that he was always filming everything. The sexual assaults, the nasty parties that P. Diddy would call freakouts. There's these male celebrities would have gay sex with each other, and Diddy has these tapes. He has recordings of all of this. And think back to Diddy's ex-girlfriend who sued him recently. She alleged that Diddy would make her have sex with male escorts, and he would do what? He would film it. He would film it with I don't know what this is, like a old school 90s camera, but he would probably film it on his phone or on something. But you know what I'm trying. He would film it. He was this one really truly sadistic and disgusting guy. I can't believe that he would make his ex-girlfriend have sex with male prostitutes. It's really, really despicable stuff. So that's what the feds are looking for. That's why they raided his homes. They're looking for the tapes, because if they're doing a human trafficking case, the charges of him drugging people and then getting them to do terrible sexual acts while intoxicated, and while he's filming it, that's what they're looking for, those tapes. And you also have to ask yourself, what are the feds gonna do with these tapes? Because there's a lot of famous people on those. Think about how they handled the Epstein case. There's footage of federal agents on Epstein's island that raided all of the buildings, and they all walked out carrying boxes. They raided all of his properties, and somehow none of those tapes ever came out. And you know there were tapes. There most certainly were. We all know that Epstein would film all of these powerful men for blackmail, and yet this video evidence has never seen the light of day. So here's how you can expect this to go. Now, if you think that people that are high in government don't have influence over what goes public when federal agents get evidence on big public people and celebrities, then you're crazy. Look at the Jussie Smollett story. As an example, the woman who was trying to help Jussie Smollett, and this later got exposed, by the way, was Michelle Obama's chief of staff. And this is true, by the way. You will never hear this on CNN or on MSNBC, but it's 100% true, and you can find evidence of this online on credible sources. This is not a lie. It's not a conspiracy. It's 100% true. Jussie Smollett's family was in contact with Michelle Obama's chief of staff. It almost sounds like it's something out of a DC film where there's these powerful families in cahoots with these politicians, but it's... The truth is oftentimes stranger than fiction, and that is very true. But anyhow, Jussie Smollett's family was in contact with Michelle Obama's chief of staff, and she was trying to get the city of Chicago to move the case to the feds. So they wanted to have the case moved away from the district attorney over to the feds. And you got to ask yourself, why would they want the FBI to take over the case? Why do you think that is? Because they can control the FBI. But most importantly, you got to ask yourself, why does the Obama administration care about what happens to Jussie Smollett? I mean, after all, he was just some C-list celebrity. Nobody cared about him. But when you consider the nature of the case, it was a race hoax crime. And then you start to wonder, wait a minute, is Jussie Smollett just some random actor? Some C-list celebrity, some loser, some unknown? But no, you begin to realize that his family has ties to the Obama family. More specifically, they have the cell phone number of the Obama's chief of staff. So the Smollett family has been seen at the DNC events with the Obamas. So this is a very connected family. So they may be, and this is just, I'm just speculating here, but they may have hired Jussie Smollett to lie about his attack. And what I think that I can correlate to all of this is at the time, there was a lynching bill that hit Congress the very next day. So when you consider that story and you think, who could potentially be in these Diddy tapes? If the feds are so anxious to get their hands on those tapes, part of it is to sacrifice Diddy. You know, they're taking him down, and they're going to put him in jail. But also another part of it, besides sacrificing Diddy, is to make sure that certain people, maybe Jay-Z and Justin Bieber, don't end up on the news. And I'm pretty sure you know what I mean. Or anyone else that might be on these tapes that the Obamas like. You know, celebrities that are valuable to them. Because there's a lot of leadership in a lot of these famous people. Celebrities, for some reason, have the power to sway the public opinion and influence who you vote for. Which is absolutely insane that anybody, that you, I hope that you don't, but that anybody would trust an actor who pretends to be fake characters on screen. They literally get paid to lie and to learn scripts and then reiterate them on camera as a fictional character. And I can't believe that people also trust musicians and musical artists who are a group of narcissists who only care about themselves. How are people following these clowns? But to government and political groups, these influencers are important for votes and as spokesmen, and they will protect them at any cost. But I do have some insider information that Justin Bieber and Jay-Z will be exposed very, very soon in 2024. Something is coming, and I can't tell you exact details just yet, but I will very, very soon. So now let's go through every single accusation. Let's go through the list of all the things that P. Diddy has been accused of since 1990. Let's take a look at what this guy's been up to. So we have this list here. So back in starting in 1990, according to a November 2023 lawsuit, Combs and the R&B singer Aaron Hall allegedly sexually assaulted an unnamed victim and a friend after a music industry event, then beat her several days later when confronted. That's horrific. That's horrific. They beat her several days later. So not only did they sexually assault this woman, but then when she confronted them days later, they beat her up. These guys are scumbags. How did he not get arrested for this? I'm so confused. Okay, so now in 1991, just a year later, according to a November 2023 lawsuit, Combs allegedly drugs, sexually assaults, and videotapes 19-year-old Joy Dickerson after going on a date with him. I mean, this is awful. I mean, the girl agreed to go on a date with him, which means she probably liked him, which means, let's be real, she's probably going to have sex with him. But you know what? That's not good enough for Diddy. Diddy doesn't want that. He doesn't want your consent. He wants to take something away from you. He wants to have power and control over you. He wants to demean people. He wants to degrade women and men. And that's why you see these types of things. And it's confusing for a lot of people that think, like, why would someone so powerful and rich do this? Why would they do this? Why would they assault people? I mean, look at Bill Cosby. He used to do the same thing. I'm sure Bill Cosby could have had sex with all of those girls that he took advantage of and drugged. But he didn't want that. He didn't want it to be that easy. He wanted to degrade them. He wanted to treat them bad. And that's what these types of guys do when they get into power. These guys are dangerous. Let's see. 1996, this is around the time that Tupac died. And I think P. Diddy might have had something to do with it. I mean, we do know for sure that P. Diddy did put a hit out on Tupac. And Tupac was shot a few times. He survived that attack. And it was pretty widely known and accepted that that was orchestrated by P. Diddy. And there was also a lot of rumors of inappropriate sexual relations between P. Diddy and Tupac as well. Maybe they were doing ballet together. I don't know. Ballet in the sheets. I don't know. I mean, I hope not. I don't even want to imagine that. Anyhow, so it says that 1996, Combs is found guilty of criminal mischief for threatening a photographer from the New York Post with a gun. Wow. And in 1999, Combs is arrested and charged with 2 felonies, second-degree assault and criminal mischief, in the beating of record executive Steve Stout. I mean, this guy just does not learn his lesson. It says that they, in the beating of record executive Steve Stout, who says Combs and 2 bodyguards beat him with their fists, a telephone, a champagne bottle, and a chair. Wow. And I guess the guy sued for $500,000 and he won. So that's that. 1999, Combs, along with then girlfriend Jennifer Lopez and rapper Shine, are arrested in relation to a shooting at a club in New York. I mean, this guy is just a menace. He's a menace to society. I'm surprised he went this long without getting arrested. I mean, he must know some very powerful people out there who are now turning on him. They've turned on Mr. Combs. And I wonder why. I wonder what he did to them to have them turn on him this way. And sacrifice him publicly and humiliate him now. Very interesting stuff. Let's see, what else do we have here? 2003, according to a December 2023 lawsuit, Combs, his former Bad Boy Records president, Harv Pierre, and a third unidentified man allegedly gang-raped an unnamed 17-year-old victim at a Manhattan recording studio. Speechless. I can't believe this. That's disgusting. What is a 17-year-old doing at a recording studio with these scumbags? I mean, people, you got to make sure you know where your children are all the time. All right, let's see. Okay, in 2007, well, this isn't a crime, but Combs becomes a marketing ambassador and stakeholder in Ciroc vodka. So if you want to support Mr. Sean Combs, Mr. P. Diddy, buy Ciroc vodka. If you want to not support Mr. Sean Combs, then you should probably stop buying Ciroc vodka if you've been purchasing it in the past. Okay, February 2012, in a November 2023 lawsuit, Ventura, which is P. Diddy's ex, alleges that Sean Combs said that he was going to blow up the car of rapper Kid Cudi, whom Ventura was dating at the time, and that he wanted to ensure that Kid Cudi was home with his friends when it happened. And around that time, Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. I mean, this guy is like a mafioso. He's raping people all around town. He's, blowing people's cars up. It's just absolutely insane. And then going back to the incident 18 months ago with P. Diddy's son, Justin Combs, in February 2024, a lawsuit by producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones, a former producer of Combs, who worked with him on his latest release, the Love album, states that the music mogul, Sean Combs, groped his penis during the duration of the making of the album. And Combs forced Jones to solicit sex workers and taking illegal drugs and more. And also, Sean Combs and his son Justin Combs shot a man in this guy's bathroom, in Lil Rod's bathroom, if you can believe the audacity. I mean, not only is he touching his penis unwantedly, but he's shooting guys in his bathroom, and he got away with it. He forced this man. He told him that if he told the police that he had shot the guy, that he would kill him. So this guy was afraid for his life. He told the police that this gentleman that goes by the name of G, that's the guy's name that got shot in the bathroom by P. Diddy and his son, he was shot in a drive-by shooting outside. And so that was a lie. And now these lies are coming out. 2024, they're exposing everybody. I'm telling you guys. And it's also interesting to note that P. Diddy's ex-wife, who was suing him and for a lot of money, she mysteriously died in 2018. And this is during P. Diddy's height of doing whatever he thinks he wants to do, whatever crime he wants to commit. And he knew he could get away with it. That's why he blew up Kid Cudi's car. That's why he murdered his ex-wife in 2018 so she wouldn't speak out against him, and so she wouldn't sue him and take his money. I mean, this guy was literally getting away with everything and anything that he wanted. Why? Because he was protected. He's protected by politicians. He's protected by really important people in government. And all this is going to be coming out very, very soon. Justin Bieber and Jay-Z are next, and I can't wait to tell you guys all about it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you'd like to help support this channel, please join me on Patreon. It is only $10 a month, which is about 30 cents per day. And that would mean a lot to the survival of this channel. And you can join me on patreon.com/chriscameraguy. There's other ways that you can support. You can also buy merch. I also have hoodies, t-shirts, sweatpants, all that good stuff. So if you'd like to support this channel, if you'd like to support me, you can go ahead and do so by joining me on Patreon or purchasing some merch. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I know that you can be doing a lot of other things right now, but you're hanging out with me. And that really means the world to me. Thank you so much. Take care. Peace.